Alright, welcome to a new playthrough of Roguetech. So, in this playthrough we have already allied ourselves with the Davions, with Federated Suns, House Davion, and we are playing on the online map. So as an ally of House Davion, we have been getting this message, or we get this message. So Davion is in conflict with Taurians, so the Taurian Concord, and we are basically supposed to fight them. Apparently there is a relation with Kurita, St. Ives, and OWA, so we cannot attack them, apparently. I actually used the Kuritans to grind up to allied with Davion, so that's actually kind of funny. Apparently I've been trying to ally with Davion by beating on somebody they have a non-aggression pact with. But whatever. I actually don't know what happens, like, if I were to fight Kurita on behalf of Davion. I don't know if that would change, or if that's just like a fluff thing of, hey, we're not supposed to fight them, but if you do, okay. But I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk angering the Federated Suns, so we're fighting the Taurians. And apparently there's a Discord. I don't know if this means the Roguetech Discord in general, or if there's a specific Davion Discord. I need to look into that, and I'm going to take some time after I'm done recording the episodes today to do exactly that. Unfortunately, it doesn't give me any indication of how to join that Discord, so I'm going to just go ask on the Roguetech Discord and see what they say. In any case, confirm. So every time you load into a online map playthrough, you get all these messages that have different in-game effects. So this one, in 12 hours, if Liao still holds Florarda, they will receive an award. And if they do not hold the system, they will suffer penalties. So things like this push the players to target certain things. And apparently Merrick is getting a defense boost, but suffering an attack penalty for 33 hours. And that's it. So, as this is the first episode of the new playthrough, let's check out the Knights of the Round Dropship. So we hop over to the barracks, and a few of these pilots I'm gonna respec once I have the money to do so. You'll see a lot of bandit, and that's because I don't think any of our mechs are using weapons with recoil, and we're using a lot of missiles and things. We'll go to the mech bay in just a second, but that's why there's so much bandit. We have Dragon 66, who has been piloting almost entirely tanks. And, yeah, so he has the plus 15% max sight and sensors because basically gunnery tree and plus 15% sight and sensors are the primary things for vehicles. Stability doesn't matter. You can't melee. And Escapist is only good if the vehicle is fast enough to get above 6 evasion, which is why Hammer here has Escapist. I started the playthrough with, I forget what it was, but a vehicle that was able to get 7. And then it exploded. So Hammer is no longer... Actually, I think he might have punched out from panic. Regardless, I lost the vehicle. So now, since then, Escapist has been useless because I do not have any other units other than the Urban Mech Lamb that Ek has been piloting. Whenever it jumps, it can get 7 evasion, so that's why he has Escapist. Although, I don't think it was actually necessary because I believe it has, or at least it had, a defense double plus, which gives plus 1 evasion, plus 1 max evasion, which is, I think, why it was able to get to 7. So he didn't actually need Escapist after all. But yeah, Escapist, unless you build a mech or get a vehicle or build a mech specifically that is fast enough, mobile enough, generates enough evasion to warrant it, Escapist is just useless. So, it is very powerful if you can get there, because 8 evasion is crazy, but it's really hard to actually get there. In any case, Ek has been our Irby pilot. He has guts. So the reason he has Juggernaut is because he has kicked with the... So basically the Urban Mech Lamb has... We'll go to the Mech Bay in just a second, but the short version is it has a lot of short, like, limited use weapons, and once it uses them all it has is 2 medium lasers, so at that point he's resorted to kicking and shooting his 2 little lasers, and it's been working so far. Grandpa has been in our Apollo.
What do you want?
And you can see we've dropped in around 25 missions or so to get allied with Davion. He's got Bandit because he shoots lots of missiles, and he has increased sight and sensors because he stays in the back, doesn't really get hit too often, and launches a ton of missiles at long range. Hammer has kind of just been wherever. He was in a J. Edgar. He's piloted the Mongoose and the Owens a few times. He's just kind of going wherever. Klist has Reckless.
What can I do for you?
And as such, she has primarily been in... Well, before we got the Wolverine, she was piloting the Mongoose because the Mongoose had the highest alpha strike of our light mechs. But since we've built the Wolverine, she's been in the Wolverine instead. Kraken has not been used, I don't think, at all. Ping Pong has used the tank we have. We just flat out bought a heavy tank. Or maybe assault tank, I don't remember which. But it has tons of armor, so it rolls slowly to the front and soaks damage. And Ping Pong has dropped in 1 mission on it. Pistol has not dropped in any missions, and Toro has not dropped in any missions. Squire, he kind of goes in whoever's, like, he went in the Bushwhacker a couple times while Templar was injured, and he went in the Apollo once while Grandpa was injured. And then Templar is our commander. Elaine Wright, the backstory for this one is she was a member of the Davion Guard, hence why we're allied with Davion. I also turned allies on for this playthrough, specifically so that it fits the fluff better. Like, she'll randomly get dropped, like, support from Davion. Primarily this playthrough, we're going to try to take missions just from the Davion. Like, only Federated Sun missions if we can help it. If we're desperate, we'll take missions from other people, but primarily just from the Federated Suns. And with that, let's go to the Mech Bay and meet the cast. So, yeah. Tis But a Scratch made it very easy to actually get the Wolverine and Centurion. I believe they both came from just the Mech Warrior bleeding out from injuries. But we start with the Bushwhacker and Apollo. The Apollo has remained relatively unchanged. I believe it started off with small lasers, and we just... we added Indo and Pharaoh and an XL engine, and replaced the small lasers with a large laser. It's got some Thunder ammo for dealing with pesky light mechs. It's got LK ammo for firing indirectly, and then a bunch of Artemis so that it just never runs out of ammo. We slapped in Guardian ECM and Beagle Probe so that it's, a little bit defensive and more accurate against, stealth and better sensor checks and such. The tracker sensors, because it stays in the back with its LRM long fires and essentially just tries to fire at the longest range it can so it takes no damage. Rangefinder helps with that, giving more base sight distance, which is further multiplied by Grandpa's plus 15% sight and sensors, as well as the Beagle Probe's plus sight and sensors. And then it has the Artemis fire control system that it started with. So these LRMs, they have 1 evasion ignore from the Artemis weapon system, 1 evasion ignore and 1 accuracy from the Artemis ammo whenever it's firing directly, and Grandpa is also reckless, so it has a total of 3 evasion ignore when it's firing its Artemis, and 2 evasion ignore firing the LK. And Thunder accuracy doesn't really matter. So, that's the Apollo. And also, none of the mechs have earned a name yet. I think this playthrough I'm just going to name them as they distinguish themselves. The Bushwhacker, whenever we started, was our little loot box thing that we got. We've changed it significantly. It did come with a fire control risk, which we're still using, so +1 evasion ignore. It's nice. We've tossed in a gunnery support, rangefinder, and I believe it started with the Angel ECM, and we added powered sensors. So it's good against stealth, and it's got good sensor rolls, so it's fairly accurate. It has mimetic armor to help defensively. We switched out the heavy MRMs for the LRMs because they have jam chances. We took out the large lasers that the one that you saw in the Apollo, the whatever. They have a jam chance, so we replaced them. And with the extra tonnage we got from the stuff we added, we've upgraded to a PPC, a pair of light PPCs, and then the Clan LRM 10s that we luckily got from a planetary government drop. Yeah, so it is a solid mid to long range mech with stealth armor for defense, as well as, the Angel ECM is the best ECM in the game. So it's good. And then in addition to that, it has 3 ECM jamming from the PPCs if they all hit, as well as mag pulse ammo, which adds ECM jamming of 1 per missile that hits. So altogether, if everything hits, it has an ECM jamming of 23, which basically guarantees that the target is firing with no sensors at a +7 difficulty against stealth. So this thing is very effective in, duels or just picking a target that it doesn't want to ever hit. The Wolverine was a recent addition. It has also, I think I have XL engine on all the medium mechs, but it's boasting a AMS Mark II, Warfare Suite, Light Gauss Rifle, and an LRM-20. So the Warfare Suite gives extra protection to allies within 180 meters, so he kind of stays with the backline mechs, the Apollo and the Bushwhacker, and gives them extra ECM shield, as well as, giving himself, because he also benefits from the 3 shield from the EWS Protect Allies active thing, as well as getting the passive shield of 1. So he has a shield of 4, basically the same as a Guardian ECM, but also gives allies shield. So he also has an Artemis fire control system with Artemis ammo and LK for firing indirectly. Not the highest damage output, but very good defensively. He has a combat shield, so anytime he's in cover or guarded, he gets the 40% damage reduction instead of 20%, as well as the flat 6% damage reduction just from having the shield. It also makes him more visible, and the higher visibility and sensor signature makes him more likely to be targeted than the other 2 long-range mechs. Not by much, but it is noticeable. Whenever they're all standing together, he does tend to get fired at more. But that's basically that. The Light Gauss Rifle gives evasion ignore, the Artemis ammo gives evasion ignore, and the Artemis fire control system gives evasion ignore. So the LRM-20 is firing with 2 evasion ignore, and the Light Gauss Rifle is firing with 1 evasion ignore. Moving on. Right, the quirk here is Tactics +1. The Bushwhacker quirk is +1 defense. Again, the Bushwhacker is a very good defensive mech. And then the Apollo is just rugged, so it's cheaper to repair. Then we move on to the other addition that we managed to pick up, which is a 55-ton Centurion. And this thing also carries an AMS Mark II, but this is our jam-heavy mech. So we have the Fire Control Advanced Targeting Computer and the Gunnery Support A to help reduce the jam chance, because the Light Autocannon 5 has a 10% jam chance. the large laser blaze fire has a 20% jam chance, and the heavy MRMs have a 25% jam chance. And then the AMS Mark II already has a jam chance when overloaded, but also has a further jam chance from the cased ammunition. So altogether, this mech is the mech that's trying to prevent all the jamming from all the jamming weapons. The weapons are more powerful than standard weapons, which is why I'm willing to use them despite the jam chance. But there have been a few times where, like, everything was jammed and all he could do was, like, walk forward and brace because literally every weapon was jammed. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it's kind of funny and kind of annoying at the same time. He doesn't have any special sensors because he's our frontliner, and we don't really have any sensors. Like, tracker sensors would be terrible, since he's the one moving forward and getting line of sight and everything. Which is also why we have an Angel ECM and a C3 unit on him. We do not have any kind of probe, which I would love to get some, like, powered sensors, just to give him some probe, because he's not very effective against stealth or, you know, heavy ECM units. But his primary purpose is to walk forward and get line of sight. I do have a searchlight that I want to put on him, but until I get, I believe it's clan endo that I need, because I don't have enough slots for regular endo. I could use composite, but again, he's the frontliner. He's the guy that's marching to the front, so having reduced structure is dangerous. Basically, he would have the same structure as a light mech if I were to put composite on him. So composite I would much rather have on one of the heavier, like, not heavier, one of the longer range mechs, so that they're less likely to soak damage, but ideally I wouldn't use it until I get into a heavy or assault mech. It came initially on the Bushwhacker, and the Bushwhacker, yeah, the fact that it had stealth made it okay, but yeah. Basically, composite I don't want to use on anything medium or light, just because the structure is very important. Like, 90 armor is not much, for example, and the extra 45, instead of it being, I think it's like 22 or whatever with the composite, just helps keep the arm intact, and yeah, that's enough about that. Other than that, we have the mechs, the light mechs that we started with, the Lamb Irby, the Javelin, and the Mongoose. The Lamb Irby is a lamb. So, if you're not familiar with lambs, they are weird. They have a flight mode and a mech mode. In the flight mode, they do not benefit from, like, forests for cover or water for cooling or anything like that. But in mech mode, they can't move as far. They are also able to benefit from the lamb hardpoints. And this is the land air mech, which tells you the perk is it can change between mech and air and gains extra evasion, gains extra, you know, all this stuff. So the specialist slots are taken up by these hard points, and these hard points give it the option to use hard point weapons. Usually the hard points are the weapons that you can carry are limited by your carrying capacity, which for an urban mech is 3 tons of weapons, but these lamb weapons bays increase that carrying capacity by 1 ton each, and there's 3 of them. So, that gives us enough room for 2 Hellfire shots, which each one, I believe, is 20 missiles for 12 damage per missile. It's strong. It's really strong, but it's a one-shot thing. So, I use it on high-priority targets to try to take them down instantly. Then we have the high-explosive bombs. Initially, it had Inferno bombs. Is it under weapons? Under ammo, maybe? Yes, okay. So, originally, it had these Inferno bombs, which do minimal damage and decent heat, but with no other heat damage to follow up. I found they were lacking, so I actually stumbled across and bought the high explosive bombs. The only consideration I really have to use here is friendly fire, because it is an AoE, and it clears mines. So I need to make sure, I always have to be careful whenever I'm dropping the thunder mines around something. I have to be careful not to hit them with the high explosive bombs. Otherwise, the mines get cleared. I have a fire control melee because melee, I don't even remember how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it melee. I don't really have any other fire control. Like, energy accuracy would only affect the medium lasers. Woo. So, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, melee's fine. And it has talons, so its kick is actually effective. And so once it dumps all of its payload, all of its hellfire and all of its bombs, it basically just resorts to kicking and firing its medium lasers, and it's been quite effective so far. Then we have, I'm going to skip those two for a second, go to the Javelin and Mongoose, which basically are the exact same. The biggest differences being the Mongoose is 25 tons and has 537 total armor. The Javelin is 30 tons and has 645 armor and a light tag. That's basically it. That's the difference. Yeah, they both have Guardian ECM. Just go into one. They both have Guardian ECM. They both have a large laser and 3 medium lasers. As I said, the Javelin also has a tag, and that's about it. Yeah, the Mongoose does have Advanced Optics Mark 1. Has a double heatsink kit Royal, so reduced weapon heat. Yay. But yeah, they're basically the same mech. They're just interchangeable, and on low skull missions, I throw them in because why not? Yeah, okay, so actually I lied. The Javelin only has 2 medium lasers and a large laser, but yeah, I'm currently using the cockpit hot seat just to use the bolt-on incendiary rockets ×2. Because this thing takes 4 tons of carry capacity, and it only had 3 without the cockpit. So, yeah, that's a temporary thing. I'm just doing that until I basically have a reason to pull the hot seat cockpit out and put the bolt-on rockets on something bigger. Like, maybe a melee mech or something. I don't know. In any case, then we have the Owens. The Owens is special. This was actually the first mech that I picked up and built off of the battlefield. It has a built-in cockpit small that I cannot change, so -1 gunnery, -1 piloting to anyone in it. It has a built-in sentinel sensor, which is, I mean, okay. It's not great, it's not terrible. I tossed a bolt-on AMS because it's squishy and it likes to get close. So it has 3 medium lasers and a tag, which again gives it very similar damage to the Mongoose and the Javelin. However, it also has a pair of ultra-light rotary rifles. And even though they're primitive, these things are actually pretty strong. So, yeah, each projectile does 6 stability damage and 20 regular damage. And it can fire up to ×6. It's got a 3% jam chance per shot, so that's an 18% jam chance firing ×6. It also has a recoil of 1 per shot above 2, which means it has a recoil of 4 firing ×6. But it doesn't matter, because all it takes against light mechs is like half of the shots landing, and it rips them apart. So, this thing has actually been quite good, surprisingly. Just considering what's in it, it's been surprisingly helpful. And then we have the most recent light mech edition, the Urban Knight. So, this thing has a 3-ton vibro sword and a 3-ton combat shield. Built in. It also has a cockpit hot seat built in. So it's a melee mech, whether I like it or not. But I'm kind of fine with it. I haven't used it yet, but I intend to, and we'll see how it performs. It does have spiked armor, so it has reduced punch, kick, and physical weapon attack damage taken, as well as charge and death from above. So if he gets charged, hopefully he won't get knocked down. Hopefully. It increases charge attack damage by 25% and reduces self-damage from charge attack by 30%. However, it does reduce walking distance by 10%. So, we have a 180 core in here, which means the 135 max move is actually going to be around 120. And, yeah, the cockpit hot seat adds in an extra 60. So we'll still be moving at 180 whenever the hot seat's active, which is respectable. That's, I think, 6 hexes. Might be 7, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. So this thing's going to still zoom, even with the spiked armor. The laser AMS is just there for a little bit of extra survivability, and the SRMs are there with the medium laser to provide a little bit of fire whenever it's advancing on the enemies before it starts meleeing, and then once it starts meleeing, since they're in the side torso and center torso, they can still fire into melee, which is cool. So that's our Urban Knight. We will be using it soon. And yeah, so with this spread, obviously we have no heavy mechs, but we have a bunch of 55-ton mediums, so they're quite effective. I've been able to successfully complete mostly 1.5 or less skull missions. I feel like with the 4 55-tonners, I could probably complete a 2.5 skull tops. And yeah, so that's where we're at. Look at the Argo real quick.
Hey boss, nice to see you.
We have Beta Pod, Mech Bay 2, a couple of recreation upgrades for morale and tech points, and we have training modules 1 and 2. That's basically it. The next thing I really want is this drop size upgrade, the Junkyard Leopard. So we need 2.5 million C-bills. We have 77,000, and a financial report of 1 million coming up. But I want to be able to drop the 4 mediums and a couple of lights together. Or just drop all of the lights and like 1 medium. But regardless, that's where we're currently at. If I go to navigation real quick, I can show you.
Hello, Commander.
We are right here at the border between the Taurian Concordant worlds and the Federated Suns worlds. And the big glowing dots, I'm pretty sure, are the planets being fought over. So, Federated Suns control 109, Federated Suns control 36, Taurian Concordant control 64. But we went to the Half Skull planet because, yeah, we're weak. So we've got the Half Skull planet, Federated Suns control 5%, Taurian Concordant control 95%. So if I understand the way the online map works correctly, every mission we do for the Federated Suns against the Taurians will actually change those control values until at some point the Federated Suns are able to become the primary holders of the system. I think. I could be wrong. This is my first time playing with the online maps, so I'm kind of going to be learning as we go. Yeah, you see the priority mission? I don't know if I have to do the priority missions to gain control, or if I can just do any mission to gain control. So there's a lot of half skull missions, and we really need to get some C-bills. So we're going to start with something quick and easy, like a duel. Go for C-bills and a little bit of salvage. It's only a 1 skull mission, so the salvage won't be that great. We are going to get rid of Grandpa real quick. I think we're going to use the Centurion to kind of move forward and acquire the target and kind of soak the damage. Again, he's got the combat shield, right? No, that's right. It's the Wolverine that has the combat shield. Would the Centurion be fine? I mean, the Wolverine has the combat shield, so it'll soak damage. It also has the AMS to shoot down missiles. And the Warfare Suite, again, will keep the Bushwhacker better protected. So let's go with the Wolverine. I don't think I actually had a dedicated Wolverine pilot yet. Oh no, I lied. Klist was. Klist was the dedicated Wolverine pilot. I don't have a dedicated Centurion pilot yet. So, the Centurion is the one. And I want Lucky. I want Lucky on the Centurion. Do I have anyone who's lucky? Oh, right. Templar's lucky. Our commander. So I actually... Let's see. Templar already has 20 drops on the Bushwhacker, which gives +1 defense and +1 melee defense. But at the same time, I kind of want the reduced jam chance on the Centurion with all the jamming weapons. So I think I'm going to switch Templar over to the Centurion after this duel. Going to go ahead and drop the Bushwhacker and the Wolverine and see how they do. Alright, so one thing I could have actually done to reduce repair bills is drop the Stormfuhrer in to be the frontline unit.
This whole planet could use an air
again, Templar is super long range with the light PPCs, the PPC, and the LRMs. So I'm going to actually kind of hang back, try to come around this this hill, flanking. The Wolverine, again, has the combat shield, so I want it to stay in cover all the time. And that's the plan. Stay in cover with the Wolverine, take the hits, and...
Waiting for orders.
I still don't have visual. Really?
Uh-huh.
Still nothing, huh? Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. We got, it looked like maybe some ravens. A mantis, okay. Alright, mantis, and what's the other one? A raven? Yeah, raven. Okay. Alright, so the raven has missiles. LRM-5 looks like.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So, staying in cover.
I read you, Commander.
Moving. And 33%, 39. Yeah, this thing has energy. It needs to go first.
Time to die.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Good to go.
Can I not get direct line of sight over here? Really? Well, then that changes my plan a little bit.
Uh-huh.
The majority of the damage on this thing actually comes from the PPCs. So we will drop some EMP.
Tell me what to do.
And hit with 2. Okay. At least the fire and smoke should make them less accurate unless they, you know, move out of it. Then again, it looks like the one hex they're in did not get any fire in it. Okay. Yeah, these are speedy little guys. What kind of laser was that? Huh. What kind of laser was that?
Waiting for orders.
So I am a mid to long range mech with the Wolverine as well. So I want it to be taking the shots, but I also don't want it to be too close.
Don't need to tell me twice.
And again, trying to focus down the Mantis, because it has all energy.
I hear ya.
Oh boy. Yeah, I want line of sight, but at the same time,
Turbo.
I don't want to be the one getting focused with the bushwhacker. So, what are the odds of me actually killing? Not great. So yeah, I am actually just gonna EMP again. So he should not be able to hit anything right now. Like everything he fires should miss. Or he's just gonna stand and do nothing. Is that because he had no visual from the smoke and no sensors from the EMP?
Waiting on you, Commander.
In which case he would be unable to shoot me at all? That's interesting. I still want to take him down first.
Vessel delivery.
Alright, he is down.
And stay down. What can I do for you?
Alright, you can shoot the stealthy raven. And, yeah, EMP.
Firing everything I've got.
Because, especially in a duel like this, EMP is very strong. Just anything that prevents you from getting hit in a duel just is great. Because you can crowd control the single opponent, whether it be, you know, a bunch of heat or whatever. AMS, like, I don't think we've taken any damage yet.
Good to go.
So, 0 repair bills. It's nice. I'm actually going to move forward. Try to get unobstructed. That works.
You betcha.
And I'm going to Vigilance, so I still get the 40% damage reduction. And fire.
Firing on target. Yeah, critical hit.
Active Camouflage
Waiting
destroyed.
for orders.
Yeah, again, not super fond of the idea of being in plain sight. But it's fine.
Pedal to the metal.
We keep hitting with EMP, and he should not...
Commencing
I'm overheating. I was
Getting pretty
not
hot
paying
here,
attention to
Commander.
heat. That was my bad. I'm so glad the bushwhacker didn't explode. Normally it doesn't run that hot. Normally I don't have to pay attention to heat, but this is a desert biome. So, yeah.
Good to go.
Heat is kind of a thing here. So, for this shot, we're going to turn off probably the regular PPC. Just to save that much heat. And there we go. So I think we took like 4 damage. Something like that.
Mission successful.
Alright. Quick 375. Again, essentially no damage. Oh! One of them had a bombast laser. That was scary. Did not even realize. Was it the Raven? Ah, it was a Munin. Yeah. I'm so glad that laser never hit. That was... Whew. That could have been really bad. Medium pulse lasers. I don't have any yet, but I also don't really have any short-range mechs with tonnage to use. Like, the short-range mechs I have mostly just have medium lasers because they don't have the tonnage for anything heavier. We're out of endo, but we kind of have Indo and everything already. So until we pick up a new mech, we don't really need Indo. We do not have any superchargers. And superchargers are interesting, especially on a mech that has a mech warrior with escapist. Because a light mech with a supercharger and escapist can usually generate at least 7, if not 8 evasion. So I think I'm going to take the supercharger. Alright, fire control standard, regular armor, we got a mantis part. Alright. Alright, and as part of the, Torian Concordant actually took Masterton from us. But yeah, as part of this playthrough, we're actually going to pay attention. Oh, Tortuga also took something from us. Okay. We're going to pay attention to war activities for this playthrough because that's kind of the whole shtick of the playthrough is participating in the online map. Yeah, 398 C-bills in 1 day for repairs. Cliston and Templar are fatigued for a couple days. But more importantly, let's look.
Commander on deck.
And yeah, the control has not changed. So I think we do have to do the priority missions in order to actually change that. We do have to worry about the financial report though. And there's nothing in the store that I care about. Nope. Are there any mech warriors that I want to hire? Not really.
Waiting for orders.
No.
Ready for orders.
No.
Waiting for orders.
No.
Standing by.
No.
Good to go.
No.
Talk to me.
That's a lot of stuff. But no.
How might I help?
Yeah, I'm mostly looking for Lucky. Just for the Centurion. Lucky and Reckless would be amazing, so I think that would be like Helga or a couple other of the Ronin pilots. I don't think it's very common at all. Does anyone have skills? Oh wait, we need to wait for fatigue. Or we could actually, let's drop on a lighter mission. An easy mission. Just for mostly C-bills. And there's a battle. Do we go half skull battle or do we go 1 skull recovery? They actually have about the same C-bill payout. So we'll go with the half skull for the allegedly easier time. The downside about the fighting the Taurians is they're kind of, you know, bad tech. So we got Apollo with Grandpa. We have the Stormfur, which we paid just under 3 million C-bills for, with Dragon in it. It does do the thing I'm not super fond of, having SRMs as well as LRMs. But we don't care. The primary reason we have it is for the 1,560 armor plates it has. So this thing just rolls to the front and soaks damage. That's pretty much the entire purpose of it. I think we should start training another Bushwhacker mech warrior. So the light PPCs do not have any recoil. The PPC does not have any recoil. The LRMs, okay. So we don't care about pretty much anything. Ideally, we would have somebody with Disgraced for the extra ECM shield and probe. It works really well with stealth armor. But lacking that, I think we're gonna bring... I mean, the extra 10% called shot is nice when you have 3 PPCs. If they get knocked down or, you know, overheat or whatever. But I think I'd rather have more health. Do I not have anyone with more health? There we go, Kraken. Bonus health, initiative, resolve, and called shot. Okay, so we need to skill up Kraken. For now, Kraken is going to be our
training confirmed.
New Bushwhacker mech warrior. And we're going to use, as I said, we're going to use our commander for... Where is it? There it is. We're going to use our commander for the Centurion for the extra jam mitigation. So, Kraken, welcome aboard. Then again, pistol's already 5444. Minus stability damage taken, or bonus health. Bonus, yeah, no, Kraken. We're using Kraken. Apollo, Grandpa, and then Stormfur, Dragon, and going to use the Urban Mech Lamb with Ek in it. Or do we run a test run with the Urban Knight and see how it performs? Yeah, let's. Still Ek. Ek is our Urban Mech pilot, which I believe gives him the 20 for both the Urban Mech Lamb and the Urban Knight, because they're both Urban Mechs. But we're about to find out. Although the right arm mounted accuracy really doesn't matter. The +1 piloting and gunnery is nice, but the right arm mounted accuracy does not matter for the Urban Knight because it has no hard points in its right arm. And then I think the last we will bring the Owens, just so I can show you how fun that thing is. And who was in the Owens? I don't think anyone in particular was. I think Hammer I've just been tossing into whatever. He does have ex-military, so negative recoil. Squire does not have ex-military. So yeah, we're going to use Hammer for the negative recoil. And that's our team. Alright. Overkill 1.5 star Lance on a half skull battle, but again, this is a test run for the Urban Knight. And just kind of to show off what our mechs do. And we also have allies, because Davion likes us, and yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. So it looks like they're in this little area. Yeah, I don't see anyone else anywhere else. So it looks like it's probably just one Lance down here. We are going to drop on the high ground because we have a lot of long range. So high ground is good ground, and then drop as forward as possible with the vehicle.
Good to go, Commander.
Alright.
This planet is as dry as my mouth. I want
So they are
some
actually
apple
not
juice.
in the valley. They are across the top. So, turning on the cockpit. And yeah, we can get 3 evasion with the Urban Knight. Or 4 evasion if we sprint. Let's go ahead and sprint. But it's nice that we can turn the hot seat cockpit on. I don't know if he has high enough piloting that we would be able to use a supercharger as well, but I'm kind of looking at the Urban Knight as a potential, potential person to put the supercharger that we just got on.
Fast. It's scary.
So I'm actually going to do what Grandpa does in the first round. And, drop thunder missiles. So, there are now mines that they're going to have to run over to get to us. Unless they actually started in the valley, in which case just that one mech is going to have to run over it. Get 5 evasion on the Owens. Fairly straightforward with the Owens. Run forward, shoot the ultra-rotary rifles all the times, and hope to not jam. Sometimes I can get several turns worth of several turns worth of the... Yeah, it's either on or off. Oh, what was what I was saying was I can get several turns sometimes out of the ultralight rifles, the ultralight rotary rifles, without them jamming.
Ready for orders.
It's always nice when that happens.
Roger.
Alright, and then the tank is going to... Once it's his turn... Oh, our allies are all the way over there. They're going to be useless.
Receiving you.
And our tank is going to roll into the low ground.
No shooting, just running.
Because the enemies often will go with what they have the best hit chance on. And if they have high ground, or if they're firing at us on high ground, they're going to have an accuracy penalty. Whereas shooting our tank on low ground... Did they just get an extra turn? They just got an extra turn. That's not fair.
I'm your spaniel.
Whatever. Urban Knight cannot quite reach the Matador to melee him. And does not have sight of the spider to melee him. So I'm actually going to reserve this until I can get sight. I think I'm going to let the medium mechs handle the Matador. Move down and see what else I can see down here. And actually shoot at the Anubis.
Firing.
And that was underwhelming. But neither of them jammed, so it's fine. Alright. Laser AMS doing some work.
Ah, God, I was sleeping. What do you want?
Alright, Grandpa is going to move over here.
You're asking a lot of an old guy.
Switch over to Artemis. And... fire. Yeah, so once again, the plan is for the Urban Knight and the Owens to move down and engage with the tank on the low ground, while the Bushwhacker and Apollo... Really? Jerk. At least it was a punch and not a charge. Especially with Tis But a Scratch, charging is just so annoying. But it's fine.
Standing by.
Everything's fine. Yeah. This should be a kill on the Matador. Oh, that's right, Kraken's a rookie. No, even with the rookie. Even with the rookie. Look at those hit chances. It's beautiful. Melee gyro.
Tango down.
Really? What kind of gyro does the Urban Knight have? Gyro... No, it just has a regular gyro. Ooh, I would love to put a melee gyro in the Urban Mech, or Urban Knight. Alright, Anubis, what you gonna do? Anubis moving forward and shooting the Owens. Okay. That's fine. I really want to get a chance to get in there with the Urban Knight and swing his little Vibra Sword. Because I have not used it yet, and I know on a Red Reaper the 3-ton Vibra Sword is a joke, but on an Urban Knight, it should actually be quite effective. Yeah. Heat. Right. Well, none of these should fire on a charge. None of them should fire on a charge. So, let's see what the Urban Knight is able to do.
Putting my weight into it.
Alright, so that's a hit. And that is a spider on the ground. Right leg destroyed. See what kind of damage was done. Almost completely took off the right side. Not bad. Not bad at all. Urban Knight took pretty much no damage. Alright, so Urban Knight can charge successfully. Spiked Armor OP.
Receiving you.
Ah, and then our tank. Our tank that is literally ineffective right now.
Throttle down.
Roll forward, see what you can shoot. Yeah, let's go with the 26%. Okay.
Target's taken a critical hit.
Do our allies even have LRMs, or are they just literally rolling around doing nothing? I really wish allies dropped where you dropped, instead of just at a pre-selected position. Because they're largely ineffective if they're not anywhere close to the battle. I might just turn them back off again, because... yeah, they make Mech Lab Monday take longer, and they don't really do much.
Yes, boss.
Alright, so we have our ultralight rotary rifles ready to go into the Anubis'
On
back,
it.
which we will do exactly that. Yeah, sure.
Firing. I'm receiving you.
Urban Knight. Time for a physical weapon attack. 61 damage. So a punch would be 48, physical weapon is 61, and it does 47. Oh, that's a 15% fail chance on the cockpit. Turning that off. So now it's a 41 physical weapon and a 32 punch. I mean, that's a significant increase. So yeah, let's do that.
Moving to position.
And that's a dead Anubis.
One less target.
Yep, dead Anubis.
Do the math, Chief.
Yeah, for a light
Ah,
mech,
God, I was
the,
sleeping. What do you want?
for a light mech, the Urban Knight is actually quite effective. I could have just walked instead of sprinting. Whatever. And this should be the kill.
I'm gonna press all the buttons and you can't
Like I
stop
said, we
me.
came for an easy mission, mostly to test the Urban Knight. And the test I would call
I broke
a
your leg
absolute
myself.
success.
Ready for orders.
Also to get a little bit of experience with Kraken on the Bushwhacker. This should be a kill, right?
Got it.
Yeah, okay.
Tango's trash.
Good.
Mission successful.
Alright, yeah, 345,000 C-bills. Pretty much no damage. What do we take? I mean, advanced optics. We don't have advanced optics on all of our mechs yet. But melee gyro. I want the Urban Knight to be awesome. Another supercharger. TSM, okay. So TSM would allow us to pull the hot seat cockpit off of the, but it's a melee gyro. Oh, man. Yeah, we're gonna take the melee gyro just because I want the Urban Knight to be an awesome little melee mech for the early game. I hope we get the TSM randomly. Small laser, sure, I'll keep it. Bloodsport, we already have one. We got the supercharger, but we did not get the TSM. That's fine. Alright. So, we did not lose anything, we did not capture anything. And the main reason we took those easy missions was just so that we are not, pressed whenever we take the priority mission. If we have to, we can easily scrap stuff and sell stuff to make the financial report. I have, for this playthrough, I set up the payments, the C-bill payments to be generous. That way there's still a debate over whether to take C-bills or salvage. But, yeah, the salvage and scrap values are default, so it's actually pretty easy to just scrap and sell stuff to make it through a financial report. We have 2 days, because we have Mech Bay 2 working at 100% efficiency. So we have 2 days before our mechs are ready. We have 3 days before our mech warriors are all ready. So after that, we are going to drop on that priority mission. But that gives us 1 day. What do we do with that 1 day? I mean, we didn't really get... We got a supercharger, that's right. So who do I want the supercharger on? How much would it weigh to put on the Centurion? Supercharger, okay, so Mask and Supercharger do the same thing. They both increase your run distance by 50% based on piloting with a fail chance, yada yada yada. But the difference is the Supercharger weight is based on your engine core, and the Mask weight is based on your chassis. So a 55-ton mech, the Mask will weigh more than a 30-ton mech. However, if both the 30-ton and 55-ton mechs have a 220 core, the supercharger will weigh the same. So the heavier the mech gets, the better superchargers get, and the lighter the mechs get, the better the masks get. So, seriously? Half a ton? Oh boy. Okay, so that would make this go from 4.6 to 4.8. I mean, 33% increase to sprint distance is nice. Half a ton, that's crazy. And also if... Okay, so I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need some clan Indo for the Centurion. Or clan Pharaoh and regular Indo. Either way, we, once we do that, we can throw the supercharger on here. Yeah. Maybe even throw in laser AMS. So I don't know exactly how much the Indo would drop the weight. Probably like 2+ tons. So that would be supercharger, AMS, and maybe more battle computers or something. Do I even have any more battle computers? No. It already has a tracking, so... Okay, I don't know. But it would be half a ton on the Centurion. How much would it be on the Urban Knight? So, Urban Knight, Supercharger, 0.35 tons, because the Urban Knight's only using a 180 core. Do I have patchwork? I do. So I could potentially do that. Something like that. And then the melee gyro. Oh yeah. That is actually interesting. Really, really interesting. I mean, superchargers are easy to come by, so we're not really risking anything other than the patchwork. But yeah, that is a finished build for the Urban Knight. Although the heat efficiency is... Okay. Compact heat sinks sink 6 heat per turn. So they're basically the same sinking as a double heat sink. But instead of taking 3 slots, they take 1 slot and 3 tons. But that doesn't matter if you're using them for the heat sink tons. So if we get a compact heat sink kit to put in the Urban Knight here, we can swap those 3 heat sinks for compact heat sinks, have the exact same slot usage, have the exact same tonnage, and have double the cooling. And that's the only way we're gonna, with the slot usage that we have, that's the only way we're gonna be able to get better cooling on this. So if we can get a compact heatsink kit, this little Irby will be so much stronger. Until then, we'll just have to be careful with our heat management, especially in a hot biome like that. Only fire our weapons when we're not using the cockpit hot seat, basically. Let's see. I think, yeah, we wait the 1 day. Boom, everything's ready, and let's try the first priority mission. And let's check real quick to make sure nothing changed. Oh yeah, it has changed. Okay. 7% control for the Federated Sun, 93% for the Taurians. And apparently there's 3... I don't know if this includes us, but there's 3 companies allied with the Federated Suns here, and there's 1 company allied with the Taurian Concordant here. So, let's see if we can try to work towards capturing this planet. Priority mission. Is this seriously a defend base mission? Look at the salvage. Look at the sea bills. I love priority missions. Oh geez. So, okay. For that 1 priority pick, we would be giving up almost 400,000 sea bills. For those 2 priority picks, we would be giving up almost 400,000 sea bills. And then for those 2 priority picks, we'd be giving up another 400. Are we going to be able to get 200,000 sea bills of value? So, I definitely want to go 417 in case a full mech drops. Because 1.5 skull mission against the Taurians, there might be like a primitive heavy or a good medium mech. So I definitely want to go 417 because that will allow me to capture to get a full mech if one drops, if one's offered to me. But 2 priority picks for 400,000. If, and this is a big if a full mech drops and there's 2 things I want out of the rest of the salvage, this will absolutely be worth 400,000. If not, would I be able to get 400,000 sea bills worth of value picks if there's nothing I want? Keep in mind, if there's not a full mech on the table, we might have 6 picks and very little to choose from. Taurians don't exactly have the best gear. You know what? We're good for the financial report. We're not really desperate for money, so let's just hope that there's some cool stuff on the battlefield. Okay. Now that that's decided, we are definitely going to bring our best and brightest. Centurion, Wolverine. I also don't know if they changed the online map to whenever you're doing the priority missions, if we're going to be locked into doing multiple deployments. So if all of our mechs get damaged, I'm mildly concerned that we might get, stuck dropping a bunch of light mechs on a 1 or 1.5 skull mission. But I think it's a half skull planet, which means all the priority missions should be no more than 1.5 skulls or something like that. The Wolverine was Clist. Yes. Alright. Here we go. Alright. We're going to drop on a priority mission and see if we can work towards capturing this planet from the Taurians.
Command interface
defend base should be fairly straightforward. Yep, standard defend base. There are apparently no units threatening our convoy, which means the Vanguard is over here where the camera panned to. What is the best course of action here? I think obviously we want the high ground and cover for our long range units. But instead of dropping in one cluster, inviting stray shots, I am going to spread out a little bit. So there's our Bushwhacker, Apollo, and Wolverine, which are our long-range units. And then the last two units we have to drop are our Centurion and our Sturmführer, which are, of course, our shorter-range units. The ones we move forward to get, confirmed visuals. And we'll see how our medium lance does, we'll see how our medium lance does on a 1.5 skull defend base.
What can I do for you?
I imagine this should be a relatively low-risk mission. Go ahead and move forward and shoot the unit that moved already. Yeah, that's a hit chance.
Got it.
Light Gauss missed. But hey, head hit. So his initiative's going to be shot next turn, which means we should be able to kill him before he acts again. And then the Raven here, tagging a building. Okay. Does he just have short-range weapons, or is he busted up? Yeah, okay, he has some short-range weapons too.
Oh, God, I was sleeping. What do you want?
Might as well.
You're asking a lot of an old guy.
I mean, who needs cover when you're in a medium mech with a bunch of ECM against a bunch of light mechs? Fire.
You can't stop me.
Yeah, the Vanguard should fall pretty easily. The reinforcements, since it's a 1.5 skull mission, should include some medium mechs, maybe even heavy primitives. We are against the Taurians. They sometimes bring primitive mechs. The Stormführer is going to have terrible movement once it gets in the water. So for now, until they get closer, I think we're going to mostly rely on the LRM. The Stormführer basically has a bunch of armor, some mediocre weaponry, and low speed. It also lacks targeting gear. So it's fairly inaccurate, unless they're knocked unsteady or whatever. So he, again, a little bit of extra damage here and there, but primarily just around to soak damage. And, yeah.
Got it.
That's the Sturmführer in a nutshell. Yeah, those are awful hit chances, but we'll take them. Yep, not what I expected to happen. Alright, so the Centurion should have okay maneuverability in the water.
Affirmative.
I really need to go and change the weapon order. Also, we have, I forgot to mention, the Centurion has a battle computer Artemis, so it's able to use Apollo heavy MRM ammo. What's her hit chances like? Yeah, I'll take the 35.7.
Here we go.
So, weapon order didn't really matter for Apollo shots, but whenever I'm using the acid, I definitely want the MRMs to fire first. I mean, that's probably a kill on the Wasp. That's probably a kill on the Locust. So, with Tis But a Scratch, I'm not sure if injuries still just outright reduce accuracy, period, or if they have to be a specific injury to reduce accuracy. But it's a Locust. It has a medium laser and machine guns. I'm not super worried about it, so I'm going to just leave him. This Locust has Rocket Pack 5s, so each one of those can do 30 damage. I have no idea what the Raven has, and the Wasp has a medium laser and an SRM2, so that's 45 damage. So I think the Raven is the highest priority here.
I'm gonna fight you stab me.
And now it's gone.
Wow, he
Oh,
fell
and it
down
was
like
stealth.
I do.
Yeah, good thing we got that out of the way with one of our higher accuracy mechs. So, dismantling the Vanguard should be very, very straightforward. Our allies have no issues, nothing blocking them from getting to the point to activate the turrets. So, again, this should be an easy mission. We'll see how things pan out once the reinforcements arrive. Okay. Yeah, desert biome, so I think all of my mechs are running a little bit hot right now. No, not all of them.
I hear ya.
Don't know why I checked heat on a vehicle. Yeah, that's within the optimal range for the LRM. But it's a Wasp, so
Going
sure.
turbo.
The light Gauss will be enough if it hits.
Delivery.
Yeah. Like I said, if it hits, the light Gauss should be enough.
And stay
With
down.
a little bit of splash from the missiles.
Standing
Bushwhacker cannot get line of sight. Well, it can get obstructed to the Locust. I really don't want the Locust to unload its payload. So I think I am actually going to focus the Locust.
Aye, aye.
Those rockets are minor issues, but
Let's see how you handle this.
cover and guarded.
Waiting on you, Commander.
And our Centurion can only get line of sight to the Locust over here, so we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can get. And that should be a kill.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Yeah. Really hoping some good mediums or well-equipped lights or primitive heavies drop when the reinforcements arrive, because again, we went for 6 salvage.
Ready for orders.
Things are not looking promising quite yet. The Stormthrower has to fire indirectly. Okay.
Confirmed.
Alright. Sure.
On it.
9 damage. Woo! Alright. Allies almost there. So next round they'll activate the turrets. And of course he's gonna be able to unload his rockets on the Wolverine. Should not have positioned so far forward. Wouldn't have been so bad if I had used Vigilance if it was available. I didn't even look to see if it was available. Yep. Oh, no. Shooting at a building and the AMS.
Ah,
I
God,
forgot,
was
we actually have
sleeping.
quite a
What
bit
do
of
you
AMS,
want?
so those rocket packs aren't going to do anything. This is the downside to the Apollo. It's using LRM Longfires, which have extreme range, but they also have pretty huge minimum range. So I'm actually going to fall back to get into optimal range
I don't like going fast. It's scary.
and fire indirectly with LK. So since the large laser is jammed, we are going to sink some heat, which is cool.
Knocking it down just like Fellow Woods.
And yeah, you can see the accuracy of the
Good to
Apollo
go.
is very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, within minimum range for everything here.
Uh-huh.
But, it's all we got to do, so we might as well do it. I think I'm going to save some Artemis. We only have 4 shots of Artemis left.
Time to die.
And yeah.
Yeah.
even within minimum range, if the light Gauss rifle hits,
Standing by.
it's significant against the light mech. All right, pull back to the center,
Move.
cool down a bit, get ourselves in position, ready for the reinforcements to arrive at the beginning of next turn.
I hear ya. Double time.
See if we can unjam the heavy MRM. Yep, cool.
Receiving you.
Stormfur. Again, I have no idea what direction the enemies are going to come from, so I should have sprinted. There's no reason to move with a tank unless you're trying to get higher accuracy.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
Alright, so over here and somewhere else usually, unless they all
Waiting on
dropped
you,
over
Commander.
there. I'm going to give them a chance to move. Oh boy. Yeah, that's some locusts and a Hetzer. Oh boy. Our salvage prospects are not looking great. Yeah, okay, they all dropped over here. I see a Whitworth. Okay, that hit a building. I thought the stray shot for a second was going to hit my bushwhacker, but no, hit a building. That's Clint, a Vulcan. Okay, okay. Crosscuts, I believe, have some melee gear in them. A chameleon. Yeah, so there's some medium mechs.
God, I was sleeping.
All right.
What do you want?
So, is there some cover I can get into? No. But I can limit line of sight. I mean, considering he has spawn protection, those are actually pretty good hit chances. But I am going to reserve with Grandpa. Since the Apollo has such a crazy minimum range, I want to be more careful with his positioning. I want to pull back more so than move forward. Alright, shooting at buildings, okay. You know, that's something else I failed to consider when I was picking Seabills versus Salvage. Defend base missions, if you keep all of the buildings standing, which is pretty easy to do on lower skull rating defend bases, you get a, I believe it's 25% increase to the Seabill payout, which is significant. If you're getting 1 million Seabills, that's 250,000. Yeah, I guess let's kill this locust. And yeah, fire. Please tell me I did not just stray shot the building. Okay, it wasn't one of the buildings I was supposed to protect, so that's fine. It's completely fine that I just destroyed part of the base that I'm defending. It's not one of the important buildings. Alright.
Good to go.
And our short-range mech. Yeah, a supercharger in the Centurion would actually be quite
Moving
good.
fast.
Just to be able to get into the front lines more easily. Again, it's a light mech. I don't need acid.
Tell me what to do. Did you see that? Did you see it?
Alright. So yeah, I should be able to even destroy all of these guys before the end of the mission. Two AMS Mark II's early game are funny. Their missiles are literally useless. Unless I jam. If my AMS is jam, then is that mortars? My AMS is... Alright, the Wolverine AMS is jammed, but the Centurion AMS did not fire. So that means that must have been mortars. I mean, at least they were firing on the turret instead of on me, but still. Alright.
Ah, God, I was sleeping. What do you want?
Okay, again, Grandpa kind of wants to keep his distance. So I'm gonna move over
I
here
don't like going fast. It's scary.
and fire on the Clint. That overheats us, so Artemis and LK are the same. So I guess we'll stick with Artemis, we have more of it. Alright, he's open.
I broke him like my hip.
Yeah, the Clint 2-2R does not have very good equipment in it, so I'm not super worried about destroying it completely.
Got it. Max speed.
I mean,
no
honestly,
shooting.
with the 6 priority picks we got, I'm going to be hard-pressed to find stuff I actually want with what's out here. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Save the Artemis for an evasive target.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
Alright, AMS unjammed. Alright, that sounded like a couple Thunderbolts and LRMs. Yeah. 15 LRMs, 2 Thunderbolts.
Receiving you.
And we need to get our tank to the front line. Fastest way to do that, I think, is to get to the road. And I'm literally just going to look for anything with a 10% or higher hit chance and fire. Although, honestly, if I had gone for the Clint, it was knocked unsteady, so it probably would have had the highest hit chance. But it probably still would have only been like 20%. Again, the Stormthrower is not there for damage. It's pretty bad accuracy, so usually just use it to get to the front and soak damage. Alright. Turret's doing turret things. And yeah, there's no point to dropping Thunder LRMs on defend base because your allies do so much damage. They're just going to drop things if you try to let them run over the mines. I mostly use them for like Assassinate, Battle, Ambush Convoy. They're really effective. Alright, so one of them is moving. Turn 20. Locust, okay. Probably has a medium laser. Is running away. Okay. Run all you like, you're still gonna die.
Standing by.
Okay. Yep. Let's fire on the Chameleon.
Aye, aye.
That Chameleon has a lot of energy weapons. And now it doesn't.
Mech destroyed.
Ah, God, I was sleeping.
Small
What
and
do you
medium
want?
lasers. Oof. Again, Grandpa needs to keep his distance.
Oh, I don't like going fast. It's scary.
Yeah, as compared to the Warden Wolves playthrough, where I have I played most of the campaign with like a bunch of short-range mechs running in and, causing chaos. This playthrough, I have mostly long-range mechs, just because of how the cards were dealt.
I broke him like my hip.
So it's actually a problem if I just run in, because then I get within minimum range of, like, all of my weapons. Here comes the crosscut. Okay, so crosscut appears to be the thing with the mortars.
What can I do for you?
And getting in position with the Wolverine. I have full resolve. Might as well use vigilance just in case they shoot me. Using Artemis and firing.
Go!
I'm just looking
Can
at
I
the
shoot
stuff
you?
I'm
Don't
destroying
take
and
it.
seeing a
What's
bunch of
waiting on
low
you,
tech.
Commander?
Okay. Alright. Closing distance with the Centurion. Finishing off the Clint, most likely. Okay. Or just taking half of him.
There's more where that came from.
It's fine. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to be going for money picks, if I can. Hopefully I can get... Like, hopefully there's anything that's anywhere close to 200,000 per piece.
Receiving you.
Otherwise, yeah. Regrets. Mistakes were made. Alright, Stormthrower is finally getting to the front. Bushwhacker... Not gonna risk the stray shots.
Engaging with target.
LRMs, unless you're firing Deadfire, I do not believe they can stray shot. At least not, like, firing past your units. Here comes the Hetzer. Shooting our ally and our AMS is holding. We might actually get out of this with no damage. That'll be excellent, because then we can see if we're having to do multiple drops from taking the priority mission, or if they changed it so priority missions are one shot. I really don't know. We're about to find out, though. Also, I'm curious how much percentage the control is going to change from us doing this mission. That's gonna tell us how many episodes it'll take for us to capture a planet. I'm hoping it's no more than 5. Hopefully. The good news is we only have to get above 50%, I believe.
Ah, God, I was
And then
sleeping.
after that,
What
you're
do you
just
want?
reinforcing the planet. I mean... Locust? No. Hetzer? I mean, the Hetzer is completely useless as long as our AMS holds. But we can't really get line of sight to the crosscut without moving forward a little too much for my liking. Yeah, we'll hang back. We'll shoot the Locust.
Oh, I don't like going fast. It's scary.
I mean, alternatively, we could shoot the Clint indirectly and potentially kill it, but, I mean, this is a potential kill on the Locust, so...
Knocking it down just like Bellow Woods. I broke him
Or
like my
we
hip.
do
I
relatively
hear ya.
nothing. Or relatively little. Not necessarily nothing. Yeah, the Hetzer I don't care about. Is this optimal range still? Yes, kind of is. Alright, moving the Wolverine forward, once again using Vigilance. And firing. Fuel cell engine.
Want some more? Huh?
I think fuel cell engines are actually worth a bit. I don't know, I'm looking at this, I'm not seeing a lot of good salvage. But it's fine. I mean, easy mission.
Standing by.
Not really a big deal if we don't get the best salvage.
Roger.
Lining up for stray shots because let's just, yeah. I don't know. Why not?
All weapons. Go.
Alright, that's a dead crosscut. Engine destroyed. So that fuel cell engine is not going to be on the loot table. Locust moving
Good
forward.
to go.
C3 network. Centurion is running hot and thus running slower.
Got it.
But with the heavy MRM jammed, we can still fire everything. He's open. Yeah, I think damage is more important than mobility right now. Yeah, primitive Clint. Figured.
Dang, you're dead.
I figured it was a primitive. Alright, ally shooting Hetzer. Whatever. We have enough AMS to last us for a while. Like, I believe the Wolverine has a double bin, which is like 480 rounds. And the Centurion has 2 bins of caseless, which is 800 rounds, but it fires twice as much as a regular bin. Okay, yeah, let's do
Got
that.
it.
So it has 2 evasion compared to the 3+ of our other units, so hopefully if they decide to shoot at me, they shoot at him. And the Whitworth is not open, so the machine guns are kind of irrelevant. But once it gets into that perfect sweet spot where it's firing LRMs and SRMs as well as possible, it does do significant damage. It's just, it has to be in that sweet spot, otherwise it's pretty low on the damage front. Come on, AMS. Do your thing. Okay, nothing hit. Yeah, the AMS is less effective when there's only one Mark II firing on it instead of both of them.
Waiting for orders.
I'm actually going to fall back a little bit.
You
Like
betcha.
that. Continue pelting the Whitworth. Same hit chance, so
Tell me what to do.
switch to the ammo type we have more of.
When I shoot you, you'll take it.
Receiving you.
And then we have the Bushwhacker, who is going to fall back and also shoot the Whitworth. Do we turn off the PPC? We turn off PPC. Yeah, last shot of actual damage.
Firing.
That was good.
Critical hit. I'm out of long-range missiles.
I mean, I'm happy with half a mech down and a knockdown. And since he's missing both of his arms, he should have a pretty high difficulty check to stand up, and on a 1.5 skull mission, he's probably going to have low piloting, so there's actually a chance he just stays lying on the ground until he dies. Even if he doesn't, he has 1 energy weapon left, so... It's finally time to take down the Headster, which is actually, I think he's already fired 3 of his Thunderbolts, so he only has 1 Thunderbolt left, but I really don't want that Mine Dispenser going off. Locust moving forward with his 1 medium laser and guarding.
Ah, God, I was sleeping. What do you want?
Grandpa can get line of sight in optimal range to the Locust.
Oh, I don't like going fast.
And yeah, here's the problem with jammed weapons early game. Grandpa has a gunnery of 7, which means he has a 70% chance to unjam the large laser every round. However, it is possible, as has happened now, for the laser to stay jammed
It's like Fellow Woods.
because he keeps getting apparently the
I broke
30%.
him like my hip.
Okay, he finally unjammed
What
it.
can I do for you?
But until you get to 10 gunnery, jammed weapons can stay jammed for a lot longer than you would think.
Moving out.
Alright, keep the AMS overloaded, fire the MRMs, turn off the large laser, sink almost all of the heat, and fire. Still not a kill.
Critical hit.
This Locust is really hanging in there. Alright.
Standing by.
We have the Stormfurgen, which can only get direct line of sight to the Whitworth, but I do want him to roll forward.
Got it.
So, optimal range with the SRMs, minimum range with the LRM, but since he's on the ground, still a 44% hit chance with the LRM. And hopefully it's a kill.
All weapon systems.
Yep. A little bit of overkill, actually.
Hostile. Removed.
But yeah, so as long as we're, well, actually, either way. Either we're locked into multiple deployments now, in which case every episode is going to be priority missions until we're no longer locked into priority missions, or they changed it so that we just drop on priority missions when we feel like it, in which case we will do at least 1 priority mission per episode.
Ah, God, I was sleeping. What do you want?
Just stand and shoot. Yeah, that will definitely be a dead Locust. Or do I stand and shoot the Hetzer? Nah, Locust.
I'm gonna pick those places.
Or the large laser misses. Yep. That Locust is just hanging in there.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I'm really surprised he hasn't punched out. Alright. Wolverine getting up high. Vigilance. The Stormfur will be able to roll over to the Hetzer. So I think I'm going to try to finish off the Locust so he doesn't get another turn. There we go. Locust finally down.
Should have run when you had the chance.
Ready for orders.
I mean, not that 25 damage would have been the end of the world, but, I mean, eh. So, Bushwhacker firing EMP indirectly, at least it's gonna do, like, 3 damage or whatever to a vehicle. 2. Oh, right, because he's in cover.
I hear ya.
And don't want to move with the Centurion, because mine damage will be a lot worse than the damage we take from the Hetzer in the event that it actually is able to hit us with its LRMs. You know, in the event our AMS... Or we just kill it. That works too.
I feel bad about shooting the little guys.
Alright. So that should be the end of an easy mission.
Mission successful.
Alright, so after drop costs and adjustments for all of the bonuses we got, we made 1.3 million C-bills. Took virtually no damage. And we have 6 priority picks. But, ooh, okay, before we start picking parts, I'm gonna look and see what's down here. Light AC2 is 4 tons for 20 damage. With a jam chance. That's... I would much rather have a light PPC. I think we already have a tag. Yeah, we already have a tag. 2 C3 units. We already have 2. Oh boy. Oh boy. Go ahead and take the double heat sink. Well, before I do that, there's not even ammo or anything. No sensors. Yeah. Alright, so that's 795. That's 625. Definitely taking the crosscut part. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm looking at this top right corner to see the value of the picks. So that tells you how much you'll be able to scrap for. That is actually really nice. Cool. And then the Raven. Really? So it doesn't actually show for both, it just shows for a single. Which means that double Raven pickup is actually like 5 million C-bills. Huh. Yeah. We went greedy for salvage and we're paying for it. There's no way we're gonna get anywhere close to 400,000 C-bills worth off of those last 2 priority picks. Okay, well, chameleon part, crosscut part, the Raven parts definitely. The Vulcan part, and yeah. I mean, that's 1 million C-bills, 1.12 or whatever. So I think we're going to take the C3 units. Or do we? No, we might have a use for the double heat sink at some point. 11 jump jets, that's funny. Alright, let's see what kind of trash we get randomly. We got the small laser blaze fire. I'm actually going to keep that around. Might use it at some point. ER small laser. has about the same range as a medium laser, does half the damage. Well, not even half the damage, but it's half the weight, so ER small lasers are okay. LRM 15, sure. Machine gun, we already have 3. Rocket pack, okay. More small lasers, but these are not the ER version, and we already have 3. Engine core 170, we already have 1. IC engine. AC2 fire control system. Are we ever going to use an AC2 build? I don't think so. Fire control primitive. 11 jump jets, structure, and some LRM ammo. We already have 5. Okay. Okay. So we didn't lose anything. We didn't take anything. Yeah, I literally just scanned it looking for Davion and didn't see any. Pretty much no repair cost. The command center... I guess we're not locked in because it does not have a priority mission for us. Interesting. Let's check the planet. And we are at 9% control. Okay, so that 1.5 skull mission apparently gave us 2% control. And if our goal is to get to 50%, wow. That's like 20 more episodes, or 20 more missions, which is like 10 episodes. And yeah, I don't see another priority mission. Are we only able to do 1 priority mission per financial report? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, I think... First off, we have plenty of money now, so let's go to engineering before I forget. And we do not have plenty of money for that, though. And that's really what I want. But, I mean, in the meantime, we can get some morale. We haven't really been getting damaged too much in the missions. So... let's just go with whatever's cheapest. That's 427, 213, 427, 427, and 427. So, gym it is.
Alright, I'll get the team on it right away.
Alright. At least that'll give the Argo something to upgrade. Did the store refresh? I don't know. I know the online store. So, since we're on a planet that Davion does not control, we can go to the black market. I believe this is only if the planet has the black market tag. Which, I believe this is populated... I'm buying that. I'm buying 2 of those.
New equipment available.
I believe this is populated with stuff that the Torian players don't take in their salvage screen. So anything you do not claim as salvage, that's a Clan XL engine. Exchanger Plus, I don't really need right now. I'd rather have the 800,000 for something fire control improved. That will give night vision to one of our units that does not have advanced optics. But 675,000. Gunnery B? Okay. Okay.
New equipment available.
Yeah, so black market. Worth noting, these things I'm buying, they are, quote, funding the Torians. So it's actually working against my own interests buying things from this shop. But, yeah, it's just flat-out improvements. So, yeah, seeing all this stuff, like mask... Oh, boy. Seeing all the stuff in this shop, going for C-bills is absolutely worth it in this playthrough. Absolutely worth it. Yeah, And then there's a bunch of mech parts that I don't care about. I will salvage parts on my own. Why is that a 100-ton mech for 778,000? Huh. Okay. That's half of a 100-ton mech for basically less than around 1,500 or 1.5 million. I mean, interesting. So going for money is actually very interesting with the online map, since you have access to the stores that have like crazy good stuff in them. Anyway, let's go to the mech bay real quick. So, yeah, Centurion is getting that Gunnery B immediately. And that will help with the jamming. And I need to figure out, I need the battle computer gunnery as well. I need to find a ton. I need to find a ton. Where do I get the ton from? Do I drop a ton of AMS ammo? This early in the game, I don't think my AMS is going to run out of ammo, because most people are going to have like LRM-5s and LRM-10s and LRM-15s. So I think until I get the Clan Indo, or Clan Pharaoh and regular Indo. Do I already have regular Indo? Yes. No, I have composite. But until that point, I think I'm fine with one bin of caseless AMS ammo. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. So, oh yeah, sensors. We don't have any good sensors. We need better sensors for this mech. But for now, that's a vast improvement. So that's +2 gunnery, which increases the jam chance reduction, I believe, by a flat additive 2. So just flat out before any of the percentage reductions. I think that's just straight up 2% reduced chance. And it increases the chance to unjam when they're jammed by 20%. So that was a huge pickup there. And I don't remember who else uses battle computers. Is the Wolverine? Does anybody else? I think the... No, I don't know. I don't know. Let's go ahead and advance time. I meant to pause after one day. No, stop. Whatever. I just wanted to check. No, fire control risk, Artemis, and Artemis. So until we get an Artemis battle computer, because the Artemis battle computer with a fire control advanced targeting computer, it's the same tonnage as an Artemis fire control system, but it's only, and it's the same slots. It's just one of the slots doesn't have to be in the head. But otherwise, it's exactly the same. And then you can add other battle computers. So, it's the Wolverine has the AMS that can jam. And the Apollo has the large laser that can jam. So, both of them are prime candidates if I can get another Artemis battle computer. Do either of them have slots? Yes. Okay, so... And this Clan Indo... Actually, I could pull this Clan Indo out, put in the composite, since the Apollo stays so far back. But again, I'm not a fan of having composite on a medium or light mech. But it stays so far back that I could put that Clan Indo on the Centurion immediately and have an upgrade for the Centurion. Anyway, do we have Battle Computer Artemis? No. We have tracking and gunnery. So, yeah. Was there one in the store? Was there one in the black market? Because I'm definitely going to be able to drop on another mission before the financial report. So, with the black market, we see, yes, there is actually 2. We'll just buy 1 for now, which puts us under our financial report amount, but that's fine. That's fine. So who would we rather put it on? I think we're gonna put it on the Apollo. Are we? Are we? Because we have an advanced targeting computer clan, but we do not have an inner sphere advanced targeting computer, which I would prefer to put on the AMS mech for the reduced jam chance on the AMS. So yeah, I think I am going to go advanced targeting computer clan and Artemis battle computer. So literally the same, +1 evasion ignore with missiles, and yeah. Then we have battle computer. Oh yeah, I already put the Artemis. Then we have battle computer tracking and gunnery. So can we get 2 more tons out of this mech? I mean, we could drop 2 tons of ammo. But I don't like that. How would we get 2 tons? How much patchwork do we have? We have 0.4 tons worth of patchwork. So if we drop the Beagle probe, which would make us less accurate against stealth, and have worse sight and sensors, and then add the 2 patchwork, we could drop 0.1 tons of armor and have the tracking and gunnery battle computers. I actually am going to drop in the composite. I am. I'm going to put that Clan Indo on the Centurion. Am I? Am I? I think I am. I think I am. So this, yeah, 50% reduced structure, but the Apollo, in theory, will stay far enough in the back that it shouldn't be losing its armor. It should be able to stay safe. And worst case scenario, if it does start to get opened up a little bit, hopefully I can break line of sight and just fire indirectly. So I am going to drop the Beagle probe and add 2 patchworks, and then drop 0.1 tons of back armor. Alright, something like that. Something like that. So that's another 300,000. Okay. Let's do it.
Right.
Again, worst case scenario, if we need to for the financial report, we have all sorts of stuff we can scrap, and actually stuff we can build. This Urban Mech Risk, for example, we can build. And for some reason, for some weird reason, the Risk 2 Urban Mech, if combined with the Risk Urban Mech, costs 2.1 million C-bills. But if combined with the R60, only costs 247,000. We will do that once we have more tech points, because the Risk 2 Urby actually has some interesting components. that we can potentially salvage if we have high enough tech points. Actually, I'm just going to build this commando, see what we get, since it's free, and then scrap it. This is the Commando 1D, which has a large laser and 2 heat sinks. Yep. Alright. And let's throw it in the blender and see what comes out. 43,000 C-bills. Okay. Do we have anything else we can build for free? No. No. We would have to pay to combine those with stuff. Right. Centurion. Centurion. If I calculated slots correctly, Clan Indo leaves us with 2 slots and 2.75 tons. So, that lets us put the supercharger, add back the bin of AMS caseless ammo, and we still have 1 slot left with 1.25 tons. So, what do we spend the 1 ton on? I mean, maybe there's another battle computer we can buy? So we already have gunnery, tracking, and Artemis 4. Let's see what other kinds of battle computers there are. There's ballistic for the light Gauss. No, that's right. It's a light AC5. So that's not super interesting. It's not that much damage. So yeah. I wonder how much a mask would weigh for a 55-ton mech. Weighs 50% of 1/10. So 1/10 of 55 is 5.5. So that would be like 2.75. No. No.
Hey, Commander.
Alright.
Be with you in a
Alright.
second.
So I just realized, while I was looking in the store, we have a laser AMS. So we're going to add a laser AMS. As well as the other bin of caseless ammo right back in there. Clan Indo. And supercharger, right? Yes, and then we have 0.25 tons left. So shield arm gets some love, and back armor gets some love. Alright. Looks good to me.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
Okay, so that Centurion is going to be quite the tank. It's got the laser AMS with the AMS Mark II. It's got tons of armor. Yeah, good times. So, obviously once we capture the planet for Davion, we'll be able to access the Davion shop, which will be similarly good stuff, but have the perk of us helping Davion instead of helping the Taurians. So the Wolverine has the combat shield, but actually doesn't have that much in terms of armor. It's not maxed like the Centurion is. So we do have to keep that in mind. It is the tankiest of our backliners, but it is still a backliner. And we already have Heavy Pharaoh, Clan Indo, Ultralight Gyro, and an XL engine, so there is no way we can get any more tonnage out of this for armor, unless we put in a double XL engine. Which it would have to be, I believe, a Clan double XL. Would we have slots? I think a regular double XL is 4 slots in each side torso, so we would barely have the slots for a double XL engine, which would let us upgrade the armor a bit more. But that's all we'd be able to do because we'd be slot locked. In any case, yeah, I'm liking the team so far. Again, the command center, I hope another priority mission will pop up whenever I come back. Whenever I quit out and load again to start the next episode, I hope there will be another priority mission. Because, yeah, I hope to get at least one priority mission in per episode. And even so, like, it looks like it's gonna be quite a few episodes before we actually take the planet from the Taurians. So, let's actually check real quick to see if it changed while we were messing around in the mech lab. Nope, it has not changed. Still 9%, 91%. So, first thing we do when we log back in is going to be check that. Let's go ahead and wait 3 days. 2, 3. Alright. So, when we get back on for next episode, we'll check to see what the status looks like for the planet, as far as how much control we have. We'll check the command center to see if a new priority mission pops up when we exit Roguetech and start again. And then we'll play a mission to meet the financial report, and hopefully it's a priority mission. In any case, that's been your episode of Roguetech for the day. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and until next time, have a good one.